really go into Can everybody hear us okay before we continue? Okay. Before we continue. Yeah, there we go. Rob's commented to say that's better. Thanks, Rob. Okay, let's go back. So let's talk about gang sheets again. Yes, so we recommend. Sorry, slight technical issue. Yeah, so gang sheets. We do recommend that you use gang sheets, as I showed you earlier. This is our example sheet, and we have lots and lots and lots on here. The price for UltraColour Max is £29 for this entire sheet, regardless of how many transfers you have on there. So that means that the more designs you add, you're just reducing your cost per transfer, which is brilliant. And you can have as much or as little detail as you need. So I'll just show you this again. This is our neck label example. So as you can see, the detail on these is really, really, really fine. If you want to see an up close, take an up close look at this, there is a reel on our Instagram page, which really zooms in on some of those prints. So you can really, really see how detailed they are. But yeah, you can use neck labels, you could do left chest prints, full front. If you wanted to do, for example, a limited edition collection, if you just wanted 3 or 4 of the same design and that's it in the whole world, then you could just put 2 full front prints on a max sheet. Yeah, full colour, photorealistic. So to sum up, yes, use gang sheets.
Someone wants to know, how do you fuse these transfers?
How do you fuse them? Very good question. So we fuse them using a heat press. This is an example of one here. This is the Hotronix Fusion IQ. We are going to fuse one of these today for you, actually. So you fuse UltraColour Max DTF at 145 degrees for 12 seconds, and they are hot peel, which is something you've all been after for a while, so that's good. Let's bring over, here we go. So just got a Bella Canvas t-shirt today. As you can see, we've already got an Ultra Max on the front. So I'm just going to load the garment onto the press, making sure any seams are off of the press bed. And we're going to give it a 5-second pre-press. There we go, and now that's ready for transfer application. Now, the reason that you use the pre-press setting on here is to remove any creases or moisture from the garment, so that when you apply your transfer, there's no chance of it lifting or anything like that. So we're just going to apply the transfer. We're going to use a sheet of release paper here as well, just to protect the transfer of the garment. And that's going to take just 12 seconds at 145 degrees. We're using medium pressure as well, which on Hotronix presses is between 4 and 6, so this one's set to 5. Perfect. And then we are just going to pull the carrier straight off. And as you can see, we have a finished product there. And this one has a great detail in that as well, if you can't see. Does that look okay, Andy? Can they see that? Perfect, yeah, so there's a lot of detail in this print. It's got a really soft, thin finish to it. It does feel like part of the garment. I can even see, if I look closely, some of the like threads of fabric through the transfer, so it definitely has that high quality finish. And it's that simple. All you have to do now is not wash them for, is it 24 or 48 hours you recommend?
24 to 48 hours.
24 to 48, just so that it has a chance to properly like adhere to the fabric. But yeah, that's not coming off at all now. So that's how you fuse Ultra Max DTF. Very quick and very simple.
Okay, so we've got a question now about when to use which transfer type and why.
Okay.
So I'm just going to bring up the website for everyone. We can all see that. Excellent. So this is a really good question because there's a few different full color transfer types now. It's very important to understand when and where you should choose each one. So many of you that are used to order for target transfers or styles transfer expresses, you're familiar with UltraColour transfers. The UltraColour Max is here to accompany and support UltraColour transfers. So UltraColour Max is a direct-to-film transfer, which is a digital process onto film, and UltraColour transfers are a screen and digital hybrid. So they're slightly different, but the end result is very much the same. But it's really important to understand when and where you should use each one, because ultimately we want all of you to be successful and we want you to get some great product margins, great profit margins as well. So if you're looking to use UltraColour Max, we recommend this best for short run orders. So we're talking 1 or 2 sheets. If you're just doing some sample work or some personalization work where everything is very much on a small basis. But if you're looking to do larger runs of transfers, that's when you should use UltraColour, which is the leading full color heat transfer. And because this product is a lot more scalable and you'll get those prices a lot quicker. But it really depends on what size of artwork you're using. So for instance, the point at which you should change is slightly different per artwork. So for something like A4, which is for large color prints, the point at which you should switch to UltraColour is 2 sheets. So if you're ordering 2 sheets, the same or more of UltraColour Max, switch to UltraColour because you're going to get much better profit margins. The price is going to come down a lot quicker. But if you're ordering, say for instance, a 6x6 transfer, the point at which you change is different. So at that point, it's actually more, it's closer to 3 sheets. So it's only marginal, but it does make a bit of difference with profit. So depending on your design, it's always worth playing around with each product type to get the best price point for you. But ultimately, the product for your customer is going to end up the same. You just have slightly different routes to get onto the garment. So UltraColour standard is at 120 degrees for 12 seconds. UltraColour Max, as Molly said, is 145 degrees for 12 seconds also, but a hot pill rather than a cold pill. But if you're looking to order UltraColour Max, it's really easy. You just go to custom.targettransfers.com, click on the product, and just keep adding artwork. That's all you need to do, and 2 days later it turns up for you. And that's how you can get many different items of colours on a sheet. And just to answer a question we had in the comments as well about artwork types, it's EPS, PNG, and JPEG are the best ones to use for this because you're always going to get the best results for those. But you can see here you can either build your sheet in Illustrator or whichever design platform you're using, and straight away you can just keep adding as many designs as you want to until you're happy with the end result to your heart's content. Very, very straightforward and easy to use there. So if anyone has any questions about how to order, like I say, so for instance here, I'm going to make this go to about A4 size, so 29. So you can see here, you can only fit a certain amount of A4s on here. You probably get about 4 at most. That's what we always say. So it's good for short run stuff or customized stuff or one-to-one personalization, and then change the other product once you're happy with that. But it's a good way to get your product in front of a customer a very inexpensive way. So I'll just hand you back to Molly.
Thanks, Andy. We've had another question about samples as well. I just want to touch on the fact that we do have sample packs available on our website. However, now that we have UltraColour Max, we really recommend that if you want to sample our transfers, in particular full colour, whether that's Max or Standard Ultra, do it with UltraColour Max, because you would spend, say, £12, I think our transfer packs are discounted, to get a transfer type of each. But there are stock designs, they won't be your designs. UltraColour Max is £29 for one jumbo gang sheet, and you can have your custom designs on there for a minimum of 1. So there's no minimum order, no other heat printing supplier in the UK has that level of detail as well for such a no minimum order cost. So if you want to sample, just get an UltraColour Max sheet because it's the exact same process, but it's your design. So you can use the transfers rather than just messing around with sort of our sample ones. Yeah, so if you really want to sample the design, just order a Max sheet. Do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, just a question for Rob here. Just wanted to clarify. If you said one small logo, would you load up the sheet with the maximum amount that can go on it? So we don't load up the sheet for you because we tend to recommend using lots of different stuff on an UltraColour Max sheet to get the best of it. But in terms of actually, we don't limit you in terms of what you can achieve with the sheet. It's absolutely all yours to make as you want to do with it. So I'd encourage you to put as many logos as you can and a few different options on there so you can really trial your stuff. But as a kind of leading supplier of transfer gang sheets in the UK and worldwide, we always encourage you to make the most of it yourself because we're not going to limit you, we're not going to charge you extra for that privilege. We consider the workspace area yours to do with you absolutely as you wish.
And we don't charge extra for gang sheets as well, is something we should mention. It's all complete, there's no hidden costs. What you see on the website is the cost that you will be charged. Yeah, and like Andy said, we really recommend you put loads of like different, especially if you're sampling, put like a few of the same logo if you need them, and then whack some other designs or colours, details in there as well, so that you can see what works for your designs and how big or small you want them, things like that. But yeah, if you have any questions past this Q&A, Rob, and you want to chat to anyone, just either send us a DM or give us a call, and our team will be happy to help you with your order. Do we have anything else?
Yes.
Why should I buy these from you? Because they're the best heat transfers in the world. That's the only reason you need. They have been manufactured and tested by, developed by us and Transfer Express in the US, which is the American leading transfer supplier. They're full colour, they're photorealistic, they're detailed, their lowest cost is the quickest turnaround, it's easy online ordering. I could keep going. But yeah, 100% less transfers in the UK. So if you need any more reasoning than that, then
yes.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, these are the transfers that are used by many of the leading sports brands throughout the world, and we're just offering up the same technology to absolutely everyone in the UK now to make sure that you can make the most of your business and ultimately have longer lasting products with better colour so you can succeed and grow your business as well.
And also, before we wrap, I just want to mention, obviously we've fused the fashion style logo on here, so no matter what your business, obviously you can have an Ultra Max transfer to match. But also we want to touch on the business branding and personalization side of things. So the fact that UltraColour Max is a one minimum or a no minimum order, it's great for personalization. So for example, we've just got, this is a Max transfer, we've just cut it out of the sheet to show you, but you can do initials, you could put different prints behind every single letter. There is absolutely no limit to how much detail color you can have on these sheets. So if you particularly needed, for example, just a couple of hoodies for, say you're doing levers and some people will think, oh, I really want my initials on the front, but you're not going to need a whole sheet's worth. You can just whack a couple of initials on the bottom of your order, and you'll just have the one. You won't be left with like 10 versions of it afterwards. So that's really good as well. And then this is obviously our UltraColour Max logo, but if you are doing a sort of business branding, or your clients want their branded neck labels in the back, or they just want like 10 or 20, for example, and you don't want to order a run of minimum of 10 UltraColour, then you can just whack them on an UltraColour Max DTF sheet. Neck labels, it's a good one for as well, because obviously we recommend neck labels for your products regardless. But if you're doing a job for a customer and they want their personal branding in there or their company branding, and you don't want to be stuck with 100 of their neck labels after you've completed the job, then just put them on UltraColour Max. You can have as many as you need, same quality, same colour, same detail as your standard Ultra, if that's how you're doing the job. And that's problem solved, really. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, just one just from Rob here. I think this one we covered earlier, but I think we might have wrong, so apologies for that, Rob.
Yeah, sound issues.
So how many washes do you have? So these, all of our transfers, no matter which one you're using, it's UltraColour Max, UltraColour, 1 to 5 colour screen, all of these transfers have been built to last the lifetime of the garment. So while there's still things on that t-shirt or that hoodie, this transfer will last and last and last without losing any colour. So they've all been commercially wash tested to be the longest lasting transfers anywhere in the industry. So you can have full peace of mind to know that you can create premium level products your customers will be able to wear and wear and wear, and that, you know, they can really last a long time.
Cool. Is that everything for today? Do we have any more?
Someone just wants to, they want to know what machines these transfers will work on.
So heat press machines. So we recommend applying these transfers with heat press machines that can control time, temperature and pressure as accurately as possible. We have had people ask if they can apply them with irons and things like that. They technically will apply with an iron, and people do it, but we just don't guarantee the wash quality, because obviously with an iron you can't guarantee that the pressure is consistent. It's not going to be over the whole transfer all the time. The pressure is the biggest one as well. You're using your body weight to put pressure behind that, so you can never guarantee how consistent that is. And all of our transfers are made to a specific recipe. So if you're thinking, oh, the pressure might not be as good, but I'll just hold the iron on it for longer, it doesn't work. You need to, it will apply, but it won't have that high quality finish. All of our Hotronics machines, which, as I say, we have Hotronics Max, which is like our entry level, and then you can go all the way up to Dual Air Fusion. So there are lots of options depending on where you're at in your business and your price range. But all of these presses can control time, temperature and pressure. They have over center pressure as well, which means that there is like an S-shaped heating element through the plate. So there are no cold spots anywhere throughout the pattern, and the pressure comes down 100% accurate across all 4 points. So if you were to sort of pull paper out the corner of each one, they wouldn't move, whereas some presses, it would be looser at the back than at the front. Things like that. If you want to get really nerdy into it, there are lots of videos on the technical side of our heat presses on our YouTube and on our website, so you can read into that a little bit more. But yes, as long as your heat press can control the main 3 elements, then it should be absolutely fine. We always use Hotronics. We recommend Hotronics. But yes, and if you want to, if you're thinking about buying a heat press, or you're thinking of changing your current heat press, and you want to come in to our Innovation Centre, which is where we're coming to you live from today, you can come in on either a heat printing event, or you can book a one-to-one masterclass with either myself or Andy, and you can use the machines, you can test them out, we can take you through all the different elements, so you can really find the one that's right for you as well. And you can try UltraColour Max while you're here as well. So yes, I take it there'll be a link in the description of the video for that if you want to book a one-to-one. But yes, in answer to your question, heat press, ideally, Hotronics is the best one.
Okay, I think that's it now, Molly. So just to recap for everyone, UltraColour Max is a great addition to your existing transfer arsenal. So if you're already using transfers, it's a great way to do some sampling, or if you're looking to do some personalization because you can get so many initials on that sheet, or if you're looking to do neck labels, it's a great way to do short run neck labels because you get about 60 to 70 neck labels on one sheet for £29. So it's a really good price point. If you're doing transfers already, it tends to be, if you're looking to do them at scales, sort of 50, 100, 200, it still makes more sense to do them with UltraColour because the price will be a lot cheaper that way. They're all ready to order on customer.targettransfers.com, and they'll be with you in just 2 days. So if you're thinking about taking a chance on them, I'd encourage you to sample with your own work rather than get one of our sample packs. You can have it in your own image. You can take it to your customers and you can really show off the way it can work. And then just finally, I'd like to give a quick plug for our podcast, which is coming out on Thursday this week at 11:30. We have a really great interview with Taffy from Print Press Pros. A really inspiring story about how he got started and some of the ups and downs that he's had along the way. So I think if you're a garment decorator, you'll really be able to see yourself in the story that Taffy's telling. So I'd encourage you to listen to that.
And that's available on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all of your favourite streaming services as well. Brilliant. I think we're good for today. Thank you very much to everyone who joined us. We do go live every week or two, so make sure to like and follow our Facebook page, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever you're watching on. And yes, we're also on Instagram. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out, so if you want to subscribe to that, head to targettransfers.com and there's a link there. Yeah, I think that's everything for today. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and head to custom.targettransfers.com to order UltraMax.